All right, so in this next section, we're going to evaluate a function given an equation for our function rule. So what we're going to do to find, for example, f of 3, so my input is 3, I'm going to replace all of the x values, that makes sense because 3 is the input and the input is x, replace all the x values with 3 in the equation rule. The result will be f of 3 is going to be equal to the output, or the y value. Notice that this f parentheses 3 does not mean multiplication. So you're going to use context just like you do in English. The word can might be used as I can do this, I can. Or the word can could be, that's a can of green beans. So this is the same thing. F parentheses 3 can be F, well, you're not going to ever really use it as F times 3, but you might think right now it looks like it. But in the context of functions, it is F of 3, and 3 is my input. All right, so here's some examples. If f of x is x squared minus 1, find the following, then write is an ordered pair. So this tells me here that x is equal to negative 3. So I'm going to come to my rule up here, and whenever I see an x, I'm going to substitute in negative 3. So I have negative 3 squared minus 1. So that's 9 minus 1, and I get 8. So my output is 8. When my input to this rule is negative 3, the output is 8, and there's my ordered pair. 0, that would give me 0 squared minus 1, which is 0 minus 1, which is negative 1. So when the input's 0, the output is negative 1. F of 2, 2 squared minus 1, so that's 4 minus 1, which is 3. Input 2, output 3. All right, so here's a different direction. For what values of x is f of x equal to 24? So if this is my function rule, I'm going to copy it from up here, right there. F of x is equal to x squared minus 1. This whole unit here is equal to 24. So this is equal to 24. So 24, so the output is 24. So my output is 24 is equal to x squared minus 1. So now I'm going to add 1 to both sides and get 25 is equal to x squared. So x must be equal to plus or minus 5. Example 3 gives us another function rule. Notice that they don't all have to be named f. In fact, they're going to be named a lot of different things so you can determine which rule is being talked about. So g of x is equal to 3x minus 2. We're going to find the following. So I want g of negative 1. So I'm going to go to the g function, the g rule, and I'm going to plug negative 1 in for x. So that's going to be 3 times negative 1 minus 2, and that's going to give me negative 3 minus 2, which is negative 5. So my input was negative 1. My output is negative 5. Well, here's a fraction. G of 2/3. So that's going to give me 3 times 2/3 minus 2. So that's going to be 3 divided by 3 is 1. That's going to be 2 minus 2, which is 0. Input 2/3, output 0. Oh, G of C, what does that mean? It just means I'm going to take C and I'm going to put it in for x in the G function. So this is now going to say 3, and in place of the x, I'm going to put a C, and then minus 2. Since these are not like terms, I can't combine them, and that's just my answer. So I would write my ordered pair as C, comma, 3C minus 2. And then D, for what value of x is g of x equal to 16? So if my rule is g of x is equal to 3x minus 2, this says that the g of x is 16. So the output is 16. And the question is, what is the input? So I'm going to solve this equation, and I'm going to add 2 to both sides. get 18 is equal to 3x. Divide both sides by 3, and I'm going to get that x is equal to 6. So my ordered pair input was 6, output is 16.